By this Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about when kids are taught about bullying, and there's no tolerance for bullying in schools these days, and it has been for years. But the point on this is, are they taught why you shouldn't bully? What happens if you do? What could possibly happen to the person? And on and on down that line. Or are they just taught not to, and taught what bullying is, but they don't expand on it and say why, like I said, why you shouldn't bully somebody. Okay, now I really don't know if they do or not, and I kind of wonder if they can. And I'll explain this. It wasn't really bullying, it was about manners. And I don't know if they teach manners in schools these days, any of this, because, as I did a video on before, some things that, about all of this is that they took out psychology and sociology courses, at least around here in Texas. I've done a video about that before. Okay, anyway, I do wonder what they can teach as far as manners, how to treat another person, why you can't treat them that way, what could happen, like I already said, all that. But when I was a graduate student, I think I worked on a post-bac, and then when I was a graduate student, I did a lot of substitute teaching. At one point, they started calling me a visiting teacher, because I also taught, but not as a substitute, but I taught college and university classes. So they call me a visiting teacher. But anyway, and during that time, I taught every grade. I taught a lot. Okay, a lot. From preschool to 12th, and then there were programs like for people who need more assistance after they graduate from high school. And then I taught college and university, so all the way up to seniors at university. So I have a wide range of things that I've seen that, young people do. And not everybody is young in university. But anyway, and I never got that feeling that that's what they were taught. And all those never got the feeling that they were taught why they shouldn't bully. And there was one instance, and it kind of made me wonder the way that a teacher looked at me, and she was probably around my age, so just the way she looked at me. Okay, and this one was just recent. I have been, every blue moon I'll do some substitute teaching. Not very often. I don't think I have for a year now, maybe over a year. But yeah, I'll do a little bit of substitute teaching. Get back and see what's going on. I prefer I learned rather early that as a substitute, it's good to do the younger ages, to substitute teach younger ages classes. Once they get into around 4th, 5th grade, you can all imagine they start getting, whoa, yeah. Because I also like to work in what, I don't know if they still term it inner city. So, but that's not a difference. I've worked in, it really isn't, honestly. I've worked in a really wealthy area, a really wealthy school. And yeah, that entitlement and that indifference to anything anybody tells them, yeah. They're good kids, there are a lot of good kids, but you know how sometimes the worst kind of sticks out. It's one of those don't let them stick out things. Anyway, I got off the subject. But what happened, it was, like I said, it was not that long ago, is there was I was out on the playground with, they have recess, and I was out on the playground. These girls were making mud pies, basically. And I asked them, I said, did your teacher allow you to do that? I know the teacher wouldn't allow them to do that. And they said, yeah, we asked, and they pointed at the teacher's name. We asked her, and she said it was okay, as long as they washed their hands afterwards. So I was a substitute teacher, and they said they asked. I said, well, I went over there. But anyway, we went back, after recess, we went back inside, and all the kids have to wash their hands once they come out from out from recess. They have to wash their hands. you know, go to the bathroom, wash their hands, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, usually they're taught to stand in line and, you know, take your time. Well, this one, for whatever reason, they did not. The teacher that was with me, she let them all go. You know, the other teacher, usually all the teachers are out on the playground. But she let them all just go and wash their hands. Well, the girls with the mud on their hands ran up to do theirs, and they were getting mud all over everything. You know, so and all the other girls were waiting on them. They had all this mud on their hands that was taking too long to try to get off. So I asked them, I said, why don't you instead step aside and let, you know, all the other kids, and there was a lot of them, you know, let all the other girls wash their hands, and, you know, kind of explain it to them. And there was a teacher standing over, you know, kind of, it was in my, you know, range of, you know, my eyes. And she looked at me. At first, she seemed like she was shocked, and then just like a big grin come on her face, and a smile, and then a nod, you know, like, yeah, I did the right thing. But the impression I got, I'm telling you, I can't read anybody's mind, but the feeling I got from the way she behaved was that they can't do that, and she was glad that I did. You know? Of course, it could just be the way that I saw it, but no. I really do think that was the situation, that they really can't teach manners. You know, that maybe not. I've never known them to teach manners. Okay? And that's a shame. But I can see some parents, or, you know, I teach my child that thing. I teach my child manners. I teach my child, you know, what you don't do and what you do say to people. And I can see them doing that. But I see that there are some kids that don't have that opportunity to be with their parents as much. You know, a parent or parents. That they can be taught that. And I do feel like a school system needs to teach that. Age appropriate, starting from preschool. You know, because I think, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Erik Erikson who said that a child's personality, could have been personality, they could have phrased it a different way, but it's the child's personality is developed by the age of 6. I think it's personality type, okay, by the age of 6. I know it had something to do with what role they played, I think also, what role they played in the family system, I could be wrong with that. But anyway, so kids are in, what, the 2nd grade when they're 6 years old, so preschool, they're 4, around age 4. I think it needs to start then being taught, like I said, age appropriate, manners, and why you don't bully, why it's bad to be the type that would bully, what it happens to the person if you bully them, you know, like I said, age appropriate, all the way through, you know, they graduate high school, you know. Should it be required? I don't know, because like I said, I know there will be parents who will resist and say, I don't want my child being taught those kinds of things in school, and I'm all for giving people choices, you know, hey, let the parents choose if they want their child in that class, you know. But that would bring about a lot of other problems, wouldn't it? Because parents would start saying, well, if they can do that, then I don't want my child learning math. I don't want my child to be put through learning math, you know, or learning history, or, yeah, it might cause a big problem. But really, what do you think? Would you think that a child, it would be great if they taught things about manners and behaviors and, you know, more about bullying in school, stuff like that? Leave a comment below. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. This video. Hey, look at the house that the lightning hit. Got the siding on it. Squirrel moment. Anyway, if you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you're watching another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.